Hello, would you please welcome back to the stage Lixin Fan.
Thank you all for coming to the screening. Before I start, I just want to invite the producers of this film, Daniel Cross, Mila, and Aung-Thwin, please come up to the stage.
Hi.
First of all, I hope you enjoy the film. Before I start talking about the film, I just want to thank Tina Lotus and all the people that she worked with. Thank you for bringing our Chinese friends, the group of high school students here to the screening. I think it really makes the screening a lot of special to have them here to watch this film from China. So thank you. Basically, it took us 3 years to make this film. We followed the family all that time, 3 Chinese New Years in a row. It's a story about one family, but really represents millions of the lives of the Chinese migrant workers. I feel very happy that I had support from my producers and also from our funders and partners from around the world. It is their commitment to make this film possible. So I want to take questions if there is any. Yes, please.
How did you choose the Zhangs, and how did they take to being filmed?
So I went down to the city of Guangzhou. Is a big city in southern China. As we know, that part of the country is a manufacturing base for the country. So I walked around the factory neighborhoods, and I actually talked to many migrant workers. They all came from different parts of the countryside in China. So I met the Zhangs. The mother, upon our first meet, the mother told me their story, and she said she left home to work in the city for 16 years, and they only get to spend less than a year with their daughter, Jing, and that really struck me. I mean, the internal migration that's happening in China for the past 30 years is really a complicated issue. It has many different levels of different aspects and levels of complexity. Relating to the country's economy and to workers' rights and also to the global economy. So I wanted to find one particular family whose story will address all these points. So I decided that I would film this. Before I take the next question, I just want to ask the students if you would understand what I say in English, or you prefer me to briefly repeat my answers in Chinese. 我要不要用中文重复我的问题 Yeah. So that's good. They say no, you talk too much.
Same thing I say.
Well, let me just on the subject of the family. You see at the end of the film, a very sad moment where not only is the daughter away from the family, now the couple is separating, which is something that exists so strongly in the film. So the final scene wraps, the movie's over, and Lixin goes back and gets the dad, takes him in, finds the mom, and buys them plane tickets so that they can go home together, which I thought was a really sweet thing that he did.
Yes, please.
I was very impressed with the, notwithstanding the camera being there, the natural authenticity that you capture. How do you have secrets for achieving that kind of success in filming with natural reaction?
Don't tell your secret.
Well, I have to. I have to go against my producer this time, but there's no secrets. There's no shortcut in documentary because it's all about authenticity and reality in life. I would say patience is a very important virtue in Chinese culture, especially personally. My mom always say you're slow man, you're a slow boy. You always take your time to do things. And really, when I started to make this film, I never planned to finish it in a certain time. So I just took my time to make this film. So for the intimate scenes and moments in the film that you see, really, I think I spent a lot of time with the family, and we had this level of mutual understanding and mutual trust, which allowed the film crew to really embed ourselves into the life of this family. So we managed to have all these moments captured.
Plus, if you get producers that have a low attention span, we forget about him and he gets that extra time to get those extra shots.
Yes, one worker said there was no safety net for the migrant workers, and there was also a reference to having to pay cash to a doctor. In reality, what is the safety net for healthcare and unemployment?
Yeah. So I just want to repeat the question. Is so the workers were saying there's no safety net and social support to do them. So what in real life they have to rely on in terms of getting supports and safety nets. They don't really have a safety net. That's just a fact. There's a family registration system in China which had been implemented 30 years back. Although now it's changing, and it's changing dramatically, but historically, citizens being sort of divided into urban registration and rural registration. So if you're a peasant, essentially when you move to city and work and live there, you're still not granted with any kind of social care. Although now it's changing, but still, China has such a huge population. It's quite a stretch for the government to try to cover everyone. So though I think the system in China is, I know Medicare is a big topic in America, but in China we also face similar challenges. That's why, like till the end of the film, I spent 3 years with the family, and I really felt being a part of them, and I always wanted to help them in my own capacity. And like the other film we made, Aung-Thwin, if you know, it's about a family who also struggle to get by, and the daughter in the family wants to go to school. And then after that, I saw film. I managed to raise a considerable number of funds to help the girl go to school, keep studying, because that's the only way out for a village kid. I want to do the same thing with the boy, because I was back in Guangzhou last month, and I met the parents that they're in Guangzhou working again, but the mom, she was very proudly telling me that the boy was doing really well this year in his class. He got a #1. So they're really happy, but I figured I wanted to try to help them, especially the boy, to continue his study in the school. And we will come up with plans.
Well, we just launched yesterday a website, austrianhome.com, and on there will be a full fundraising information page where if people want to leave some donations, and there will be a separate bank account set up. And over the next 7 years, unless he becomes a doctor or lawyer, there will be money set aside each year for his education.